This is 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and this is Breaking Down the Books. Today's a special day. I wasn't going to do a show, but it's Remembrance Day, and we got to pay our respects to the vets, the people who made our country great and still great. You know what I mean? I'm from Canada, by the way. I'm not in the States. Nothing against the States. It's also Patriots Day. My goodness, it almost slipped my mind. It's also Patriots Day in the States. So I want to give a special shout out to my American followers also. Anyways, I'm not gonna stay here and rant too long. Last time I seen you guys was on Friday. Wasn't such a bad day. Pretty good day. But we're gonna get right into today. New week, new money, new times, and new everything. So without further ado, we're gonna start with the NHL. Short slate in NHL today. We got the Washington Capitals versus the Arizona Wild versus the Arizona Coyotes. I'm all messed up today. So I got the Coyotes and we got the Capitals. Capitals, they're hot right now. One of the hottest teams in the league. They're basically beating everybody you put in front of them. They're on a 6 game winning streak. Today they're gonna have Samsonov at net or Samsonov at net, who's sporting a 2.38 goal against average, 915 save percentage. He's 5-1 on the season, only lost 1 game, um, and in my opinion, should have had a shutout. Um, that first start that he had. Anyways, he's gonna be facing off versus Antti Ranta, who's 3.12 goal against average. He's gonna put up against Washington, who shoots the puck like nobody's business. Um, Coyotes on their end, they're on a 3 game losing streak. Last time they seen each other, Washington was the victor. Game ended 4-2 in lopsided victory. Right now, some historicals between these guys, it hasn't actually gone over 6.5, and basically the game been under in 5 of the last 6 games that Arizona plays versus Washington at home. Washington on their end, they're actually the ones on at home. Arizona's on this road trip. I'd love to bet Washington, but I have a little bit of a hard time doing that. Is because of the slow pace that Arizona plays with. They play a very physical, slow paced game, but they have Antti Ranta at net. Ranta is really not necessarily the best goalie. He's 2-1-2, 2 overtime losses. Washington is really favored here, and I mean, if you want to bet them, money line is not paying that much. You might want to go with the minus 1.5, but again, you know what? Let's go with no fair. Let's go with Washington minus 1.5. 6.0 I feel like it's a little bit too low for a Washington team that's been going over a lot. And yes, Arizona is all about pace, but they could also score goals when teams score with them. So I'm gonna have to go with Washington minus 1.5 here, so they could take advantage of Antti Ranta and Samsonov to stay on his head. You could also put the under, but 6.0 you would have to buy the hook at 6.5. Um, and that's going to be buying down. So 6.0 is even money. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Next game we got Ottawa Senators versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes are favorite, and they kind of should be because it's a home and home situation. Granted, Ottawa actually won that home game with the two teams on Saturday. They had a day to rest. Both teams did, and now you got Peter Mrazek, who's going to be at net, 7-3-1, versus Ottawa's Anders Nielsen, who's 4-3-1. He has three less winners than they do. But on their end, the Hurricanes haven't been playing that good. Hurricanes are on a 4 game losing streak. Ottawa's on a 2 game losing streak. Basically, if you're betting and the Hurricanes are stupid favorite here. They're giving you 38 cents on your buck. If you really want to put the Hurricanes to win the game, then good luck to you. But I would suggest against it. If anything, you could put Ottawa plus 1.5 to make this a game. Hurricanes probably win in overtime. I don't like overtime bets. If you want, it's not a bad look. But and that over might end up being prevalent in this game. But I like the plus 1.5 for Ottawa. And that's pretty much it for me as far as the hockey goes. So in hockey, we got Capitals minus 1.5, Ottawa plus 1.5. A lot of people are staying away from hockey today. Short slate, and they fear what's going on. There's no real predictability. Washington had a day off. I like that choice. It's a little dangerous, but I like that choice. Moving along, we got the NFL where we got the Seahawks versus the 49ers. It's going to be a very good game. 49ers, the 49ers are they're the only undefeated team in the league left. They're 6.0 favorites. The total is at 47.0. I like 49ers to cover here, but what I like even more is the over 47. I think yes, the 49ers have some pretty good defense. So does the Seahawks. But I don't think we're going to have a low scoring game on Monday Night Football. And I'm going to go with an over 47.0 for a change here. The last few unders that I gave in football have not been very well. I think we're 3 Mondays in a row where I gave unders and they all ended up going over. Maybe at the exception of one, if that one, maybe. Anyways, we're gonna go with the over 47.5 and sorry, over the 47.0. You might have to buy the hook in certain books at 46.5. And I also like the 49ers to cover because you know what? Seahawks never cover spreads. They could be favored, they could be underdog. They'll always find a way to not cover. So I like those two picks. For a change, Monday Night Football, two picks in football. Moving along, we got basketball. Basketball, we're going to the association. A relatively good slate here. Few games, but you know, a little something to keep you occupied. Got Denver. Sorry, no, we got Detroit Pistons versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Detroit got Blake Griffin set to make his return today. That's gonna be big for this team because they've needed him. Yeah, they're trying to hold it down with Andre Drummond contract year out here playing out of his mind, getting 20 games and shit. But you know, I like the Pistons money line today. Blake Griffin coming in for his home stretch. You don't usually bet on injured players, but I like the kind of energy that they might be able to come with in this game. Excuse me. Minnesota actually just played last night, so it plays against them. It plays against them in this situation, so I actually like Detroit money line, and I like the over 222.5 in that game. As far as any other injuries, if you could give me a quick sec, we'll run these down and see what we could do about that. Jeff Teague is still out. Derrick Rose is questionable. So he practiced yesterday. Derrick Rose practiced yesterday. Went through with it. Didn't look too bad. Um, yeah, they said he looked all right. He was a full participant, and he's going to be a game time decision. I think he plays, but don't bank on D Rose playing because we know how that goes. Blake Griffin is officially playing, that we know, and well, he's not. Yeah, he's playing. Anyways, they're saying that he's probable. He's probably gonna play. I believe Blake Griffin is playing tonight. Um, Tim Frazier. So they're basically slim a little bit at the point guard position. But Tim Frazier is also probable for today. So I think there's going to be a lot of guys. That line, if you could get it right now, money line, Detroit, get it while it's hot because it's not going to be there for long. Next game we got Dallas versus Boston. I'm going with Dallas money line. I've been waiting for Boston to be favored versus a team that's actually competition, and I'm not saying that Dallas is that. I'm not saying that Dallas is super competition or anything. But I think Dallas is a better team than Boston. And I said it right here. I think Boston looks good right now with their record and everything, but they're not that nice. The quality of competition has been absolutely slim. I think Gordon Hayward's been the one, the X factor, who's actually been playing better defense and facilitating for a lot of guys. Assists aside, he's been facilitating for guys, so he's getting a lot of hockey assists, a lot of pass to assists, and all of that stuff. I got Dallas money line to beat the brakes off of Boston. That 220 total, I don't know anything about that, but I got Dallas money line, and I'm willing to put a max bet on that. Next game, we got the Spurs versus Memphis. Memphis haven't covered the spread since they beat Brooklyn. They don't look so good. Spurs also, they're at the bottom of the list. I think Spurs are only covered one spread this season, so it doesn't look so good for them. If I had to say anything, I would say that this game is a stay away. But I don't like to just stay away from games out of fear. I need a genuine reason to stay away from it. And that 10.5, obviously Memphis is obviously Memphis is not a very good team. But from what I'm seeing, neither is the Spurs. Both of them are at the bottom of the list when it comes to covering. They're respectively number one and number two. Spurs are number one with 2-7 at the spread, and Memphis is 2-7 also. They're basically tied for the worst. The only difference here is Memphis has a better differential. Ja Morant was injured the last time Memphis played versus Dallas, and that was actually one of the reasons that they didn't look so good. I don't think he would have made much of a difference anyways. Don't bet on rookies. I'm gonna go with the plus 10.5 here against the Spurs, and nothing against them. I don't think that they're garbage or nothing like that, but I just think that they haven't covered very much, and maybe they need some time to gel. If you guys see DeRozan, tell him I said you're on TV. Next game, the 223.5 is the total here. And if you want to sprinkle some money line on Memphis, I mean, you're not out of your mind, but I wouldn't play around with Greg Popovich like him, you know. I wouldn't play. I wouldn't put my money against Greg Popovich. That doesn't seem like the right thing to do. Next game, we got Houston Rockets versus the Pelicans. Houston 6.0 favorite. They're still on the road. They had a pretty good game on Saturday. They got the day off. Now they're in New Orleans. You got James Harden who's leading the league in points. Him and Russell Westbrook are still finding a way to do whatever they do, man. I mean, Russell Westbrook ended up with what 2 or 3 assists in the last game, but it doesn't really matter. They're not deviating from each other. It's pretty cool to see how they're playing, and I like honestly I like Houston again here today. 246 is the total. If you're not putting the over, don't put anything at all. It's 246. It sounds like a lot of points, but they'll find a way to go over. Trust me, they'll find a way. New Orleans, they'll find a way to go over. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. Next game, we got Toronto Raptors versus the Clippers. Clippers are favorite 10.0 versus the Raptors, who are underdog and on the road. They just played the Lakers yesterday. Not only did they cover against the Lakers, they beat them. You know what I mean? They beat the brakes off the Lakers. They didn't even have good games. You had Pascal Siakam who went like what? 9 of 27? That's like 33%. That was horrible. But they still found a way to beat Anthony Davis and LeBron James and all those bad boys in LA. Now they have a back-to-back in LA. Yeah, they got to stay the night. But now they got a back to back. No Kyle Lowry, no Ibaka. There's all kind of injuries going on over there. They had to recall guys from the D League, from the G League, sorry. And now they're 10.0 underdog. Clippers on their end, they don't cover too many spreads though. You know what I mean? They look like they cover spreads. Excuse me. But they're like, well, let me take that back. They're 6-3 at the spread. Okay. In their last few games, they haven't looked overly impressive. So I'd be worried about putting that 10-point spread. I think it's a lot of points. But you know what? Kawhi Leonard played with the Raptors. He knows this team. He played a year with them. He knows this team very well. He had to practice with these guys very well. He is playing this game. We know that. And the last time these two teams seen each other was here, I'll tell you. Last time they seen each other was February of last year. And the Raptors blew out the Clippers. Give me the Clippers 10.0 and the under 221 in this game. If you guys want, I'll give you a hint and say that this right here, that game right there is correlated parlay worthy, meaning that if one thing happens, the other one should occur. So I'm gonna give you the minus 10. If the Clippers are able to win by 10 points or more, they should be able to keep the Raptors under 100 points. Fair enough. So you could parlay those. I don't give parlays, but if you want to parlay those, you're not out of your mind. Okay, I mean, but you have to be willing to live with the result because Clippers might not cover the spread. It's still a lot of points, but I don't think that Pascal Siakam is going to be enough. I don't think Fred VanVleet is going to be enough. I don't think Marc Gasol is going to step up enough. I'm not convinced that the Raptors have what it takes to beat the Clippers. Not in the back-to-back. Last but not least, we got the Golden State Warriors versus the Utah Jazz. Golden State only got D'Angelo Russell, and they might have Draymond Green back today, because they are home for the after a long stretch on the road. They did say that Draymond was going to be out until the road trip was over. Now we're going to have to see what's going on over here, and sure enough, it looks like Draymond is going to be playing tonight. So, with all that said, I don't think that changes a damn thing. I think Golden State is still garbage. I think that the Utah Jazz should still cover that 8.0 spread. and that the backcourts are going to be able to hold D'Angelo Russell down to next to nothing in points. They're going to have to depend on all their other teammates, and all their other teammates are nothing compared to the defensive prowess that the Jazz possess. I'm telling you right now, I got this game minus 8.0. That's another one of your max bets. So I gave you guys two max bets on the night. If you're smart enough, you guys can formulate your own parlays. So that's pretty much it for me. And the total is a little bit too low for me. I feel like Golden State allows a lot of points. They don't play a lot of defense, and I'm not 100% sure that that game won't go over because of how Utah plays. Like, yeah, they play defense and stuff, but they might they might allow them to they might allow Utah to go over by themselves. So I'm gonna give you guys the bookie bully rundown. And before I do that, I'd like you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, subscribe, comment, leave a comment below. Let me hear what you guys think. Let me hear if you guys are fading me, how well you're doing, if you're winning. I already know how you guys are doing if you're fading me. You're not doing very, especially in hockey, you're not doing very good if you're fading me in hockey. If you're fading me in basketball, you might have a 1-2 edge. You might be like 50-50. But anyways, I'm going to give you guys the rundown. Starting from the top, we got the Washington Capitals minus 1.5. Got the Ottawa Senators plus 1.5. Got the Seattle Seahawks 47.0 over the 47.0. I got the 49ers minus 6.0. I got the over 223.0 in the Minnesota versus Detroit game. I got Detroit money line if Derrick Rose plays. This is a big factor. If they have a point guard tonight, I like Detroit. If they don't have a point guard, I do not like Detroit. I'm just saying it right now. So that's going to be a game time decision. And you know what? As a result, I'm taking it off. So there's no Detroit. I'm not giving Detroit as a pick. Sorry. I don't want you guys to say, oh, well, he gave us this and this. Like, no, 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 no. I didn't give Detroit. So it's off the list. So we got the over 223, but we do not have Detroit. Next, we got Dallas Mavericks money line. We got Memphis Grizzlies plus 10.5. We got the Rockets minus 6.0. The Clippers minus 10.0. The under 221 in the Raptors Clippers game. And Utah Jazz to cover the spread against the Golden State Warriors. So that's 11 plays. You guys could go ahead and check me out at 514 Mystic. Link is in the description on Twitter. And you'll see those plays posted after game time because you should be watching the show. I don't post plays before game time so you guys could cheat and not get. Come and see me. Let's have a discussion. The more people I see coming and check me out, giving me likes, I'm gonna start going live and we'll be able to have in-game discussions. And if you guys are interested, I'll do during game discussions where we go live plays because if you follow me on Snap if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I give out a lot of in-play picks, like, you know what I mean, always high paying. I don't give any random in-play picks unless it's a totals don't pay very much, but I give a lot of high paying picks. Go ahead and smash that follow button on Twitter as well as the notifications so that you hear anytime some crazy shit is happening in the basketball, hockey, or sports world in general. That's it for me, anyways. I'll tell you, like I tell you all the time, please do not bet what you can't afford to lose. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You're trying to make it to June with as much profit as possible. You're not trying to get rich overnight. If you want to get rich overnight, go and follow me on Snapchat, Mystic514. Go and follow me on Twitter, 514Mystic, and you'll get picks that might make you rich overnight. But again, high risk, high reward. So again, don't bet what you can't afford to lose. I've been your host. Be safe, be good, and I'll see you again tomorrow.